All right, good afternoon, everybody. I'll begin the process, call to order this Thursday, November 13th, meeting of the Myrtle Beach Board of Zoning Appeals. As is typical, we'll start by taking roll. Mr. Dixon. Here. Mr. Durant. Mr. Lee. Mr. McKnight. Here. Mr. Parker. Here. Mr. Patel. Here. Mr. Khan. Here. Mr. Art. And Mr. Schwartz is also present. Anybody had an opportunity, or has everybody rather, had an opportunity to review last meetings? I typically say last month, but I'm not sure we met last month. Last meeting would be September 11th, 2025. Minutes, and if so, unless there are changes or alterations to be made, I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve by Mr. Parker, second by Mr. Patel. Sorry, Mr. Dixon, he was a little quicker on the uptake than you. All those in favor, let's get hands in the air. That motion carries. I'll hold signing of that until the end of the meeting. Do we have any old business before we get into the new business and thus the procedures and rules there, Mr. Rao? Do we have any new business? Old business, rather? New business then. Before we get to that, I will read into the record for the benefit of our esteemed audience today the board's procedures and rules. The BZA operates as a quasi-judicial body, and for the record, as we discussed a moment ago, we got the light on, so I guess that means we're broadcasting, right, in society? So this would be obviously for the benefit of anybody who may be tuning in. Number one, the BZA operates as a quasi-judicial body. If a completed permit application is not filed within 6 months from the date of the approval of a variance or special exception by the BZA, then such approval shall be null and void. Applicants may appeal a decision by the BZA to the circuit court, provided the appeal is filed with the clerk of court within 30 days after the decision of the board is mailed, or within the same time frame by filing a notice of appeal with the circuit court accompanied by a request for pre-litigation mediation. As always, decisions on matters before the board will be determined on the basis of a majority vote, which with the members present today, that would be 3-2. Variance may only be granted if all four of the following findings are made. A, there are extraordinary and exceptional conditions pertaining to the particular piece of property. B, these conditions do not generally apply to other properties in the vicinity. C, because of these conditions, the application of the ordinance to the particular piece of property would effectively prohibit or unreasonably restrict the utilization of the property. And D, the authorization of the variance will not be of substantial detriment to the adjacent property or the public good, and the character of the district will not be harmed by the granting of the variance. Mr. Rao, I believe we have one request, 25-10, Myrtle Beach Farms Company. If you would be so kind as to come forward. State your name.
Charles Rao, City of Myrtle Beach, Zoning Administrator.
Mr. Rao, you swear your testimony today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but?
Yes, I do.
Please, if you would, give us a brief overview of request 25-10.
Sure. In your packet, I just went ahead and threw up the pictometry photo that we have online. This is the site that we're looking at, the whole site. If you look at your site plan that's included in your packet, we're just looking at this one individual site. We flip back once the pictometry, which is going to kind of be located right here on this parcel. Go ahead and back to the site plan, please. The request before the board today is a water point that is not connected to the building, right here along Robert Chris. Code requires a 30-foot setback in highway commercial, so this is in excess of that 30-foot setback. The building itself meets code, but this water point would fall outside that setback request. Everyone follow?
Thank you, Mr. Rao. Do we have an applicant on behalf of request 25-10 Myrtle Beach Farms Company? If so, please come forward. Should be a pen up there, so sign in. State your name for the record.
Jason Browning.
Mr. Browning, would you raise your right hand? You swear your testimony today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but?
I do.
We're happy to hear from you, Mr. Browning.
Yes, as it pertains to the application at hand, to point A, our response would be, this site is located as to 3 sides of the property having road frontage, with Empire Drive being constructed in order to access this property due to Grissom Parkway being a limited access roadway, and therefore, no other properties in this area are sited by 3 streets, and therefore having to adhere to the 30-foot setback on all 3 sides. As to point B, the property is surrounded area mainly consisting of larger development tracts that do not require an internal drive that constitutes a side street. As to point C, the property is restricted from being able to have 2 canopies without reducing the amount of parking or by having a drive-through entrance that would be more dangerous than what is currently proposed. If the site were redesigned with the building located away from Empire Drive, where the canopy could be within the 30-foot setback or outside of the 30-foot setback, that location would drastically reduce stacking, potentially causing traffic to back up onto the roadway. In addition, the configuration would also place the pickup window along Grissom instead of patio seating and landscaping more as it is now. And as to point D, the granting of this variance would not be detriment to the area as the surrounding parcels are already built out. And again, it's a pretty small, nondescript order point canopy, and there would still be landscaping between it and Grissom Parkway. And with that, I would be happy to answer any questions the board had.
Thank you, Mr. Browning. We'll, from the zoning administrator, we'll certainly get to questions. If you don't mind having a seat, if you're done, if there's anything else we'd have to hear.
That's all I have.
Have a
Thank
seat,
you.
sir. We'll have some questions for you, so please stick around. All right, Mr. Rao, still duly sworn.
Yes,
We'll
sir.
have to hear the city's position on this matter.
As for A, there are extraordinary and acceptable conditions pertaining to this particular piece of property. The project is located within a transitional zoning classification. It lies along a limited curb cut road and is bordered by road frontages on 3 sides. Adjacent parcels, which break up the site, are subject to different zoning classifications with reduced setback requirements, resulting in a varying building alignment and front yard standards. These conditions do not generally apply to other properties in the vicinity based on the following findings of fact. The request before the board pertains solely to the ordering point and does not include any modifications to the principal structure. The proposed structure consists of an open-air canopy designed to provide weather protection for employees stationed outside at the order point. Because of these conditions, the application of the ordinance to the particular piece of property would effectively prohibit or unreasonably restrict the utilization of the property based on the following findings of fact. Redesigning the site would restrict the overall layout and impact the stacking lanes density. Alternate design options would create vehicle circulation challenges within the site. The business operator receives orders in person, which differs from other existing operations in the area. Authorization of the variance will be of substantial detriment to the adjacent properties based on property or public good, and the character of the district will not be harmed. The granting of the variance based on the following findings of fact. The proposed setback adjustment will align with other structures located along Robert Grissom Parkway and within the overall area. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Rao. Mr. Browning, would you like to rebut anything the zoning administrator presented? We'd be happy to hear from you. If so, before we get to members of the public.
Sure, my only rebuttal would be to the last comment, that in our opinion, this will not be a detriment to the adjacent properties in the area.
Similar to what you stated, I think, in your
Correct.
presentation. Anything additional?
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Browning. We appreciate it. Hang tight for us in case we have some questions. Anybody here from the public wish to speak on this matter?
mind if I walk up?
If you wish to speak, we're gonna have you come forward and sign in and swear you
Sure.
in.
I don't think I have any real questions. I didn't
Well,
quite-
we're not here to ask questions. You come up and sign in, please.
Will do.
Here you go. Sorry.
It's okay.
And if you would, please state your name for the record.
Yeah, it's George Decker, D-E-C-K-E-R, 2925 Carriage Row.
Mr. Decker, before you go any further, if you don't mind, raise your right hand.
Yes,
You
sure.
swear your testimony today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but?
Sure.
Please proceed. We'll be happy to hear from you.
Thank you. I just, is this the entire parcel of property? No, right?
No.
And if I don't mind, this is Grissom, 29th Avenue is
Further down that way,
further down.
this way.
Where the hand is, I was gonna put all.
There you go.
Parcel's gonna be roughly.
So that's the area in question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and the setback is a request for setback from the Robert Grissom Parkway? And what is the request for the setback? What does the code call for, and what are
30.
they asking? It calls for 30, and what are they asking? 12.
And Mr. Decker, typically in the public commentary section, we hear comments from the public. We don't normally field questions. I know you maybe came in a little late. This was
Yeah, I
this information
apologize
was
for
already
that.
presented. And we'll get the questions from those people who spoke already. Some of these questions that you're having now may be answered. So if you have some comments you want to make, or if you want to state your position on this proposed variance, we'd love to hear it.
I guess I just want to understand where the entrance to this piece of parcel is.
Charles, go right ahead, please.
So, there's gonna be a road, that circles right here.
Correct. I've seen that.
There's gonna be an access point right here. The building's gonna be set here. Order point in question for BZA is right here.
Okay. And can I ask a general question? Is this property currently being developed? To the right?
The one to the right is the dentist office, yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Decker. If you hang tight for us, please, we'll get through the rest of this meeting. Anybody else from the public wish to ask, or come forward and be heard, I should say, would be the more standard form of procedure for the board. Hearing none, we will move to questions from board members to those individuals who provided testimony, including Mr. Decker, in case there's some things that need to be cleared up. Mr. Dixon, we'll start on your side of the table with you.
Okay, I have one question on the, number C there, it says, this configuration would also place the pickup window along Grissom instead of the patio seating, which is more in keeping with the surrounding area. Where is the pickup area? Is there a pickup window there? Or?
Jason answers
So,
that. Kind of more directly.
Mr. Dixon, who are you directing that towards?
To the
Applicant?
applicant,
Yeah, that's in his answer, correct?
I'm sorry?
That's in his answer, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, Mr. Dixon, as this is designed, the pickup window would be on the interior side of
Box.
the building.
I got just a different color than that shaded. We'll put a box up there for you. Hold on.
What do you do in the second lane?
It is a dual lane. It'd be
Yeah,
that dotted line.
There is a Tormax door, and the associates would be able to exit the building. That's a dual pickup lane.
Circulate
around the building. Gotta jump in on this one. You need to explain how they provide an order point. It's not, you don't come with two, one of you.
Sure. There, in a traditional fast food restaurant, you pull up, you order your food, you would pull up to the window, pay your money there, pick up your food there.
Yeah.
Maybe two windows, one window, depending on the setup. In this configuration and the way Chick-fil-A currently operates, At your order point, you're gonna place your order and pay there. Then you're gonna drive around and there will be an associate outside there under the canopy that has your food and hands it to you. So they can run dual lanes all the way around. One may be mobile through, where you've placed a mobile order and come through, and one may be order on site. But on that outside lane, so there's a canopy all the way there, and I'm not sure if you wanna, the dash line is the canopy up there.
Oh, okay.
And that's part of the restriction there, is we had to keep that canopy outside of the 30-foot setback on Empire Drive as well. That's what pushed the building so far south, or planned south, I should say.
Okay, the only other question I have with you is the current Chick-fil-A over on Joe White, I think it is. It only covers half of the second lane. This one's covering the full second lane, almost the full part.
Yes, sir.
Is that necessary to have the whole lane covered?
Again, I can't speak, I've been to that site, but I don't know what went into the design of that. What I can say is, that there are associates, and you can see it doesn't quite cover the whole lane, but there are associates out there full-time taking orders.
Yeah.
And that is designed, so there will be an associate in that striped area, and it is meant to cover them and protect them from the elements.
I was just wondering if it couldn't be a little less covering. But that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Dixon, appreciate your questions. Mr. Khan, questions?
No questions.
Mr. Patel?
I noticed you mentioned and this is to the applicant,
Thank you for correcting that.
to the applicant. You just mentioned to Mr. Dixon that there's a canopy where the red box is,
Correct,
where you're actually picking it up.
correct.
Is that similar in size to the one that's where the order taken is?
The canopy, and it's referred to as the OMD canopy outside meal delivery, it is larger than the canopy to the south, to Plan South. That is the order point canopy. And that is just a function of how that area works.
Okay. And just another question. You had mentioned that you're subject to another setback on that side, the other 30 foot, and that's what's led you to bring the building closer to Grissom.
Correct. And as we stated, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
As we stated in part of our hardship, since this particular parcel is bordered on three sides by either a thoroughfare or a side street, we are required to, by current code, to hold that 30-foot setback on all those street frontages. So it's the frontage from Empire Drive making a 90-degree turn that pushes the sets the building location to Plan North.
Okay, so that's what brings me to my next question for you. When you did the modeling, did you look at possibly asking for a variance on the Empire side versus the Grissom side? Or what was the least impactful?
In an initial meeting to work through this with staff, it was our understanding, or we weren't under the understanding that we would be required to keep the 30-foot setback on three sides. That's what precipitated the layout of that. Once we received staff's denial of the zoning review is what started these conversations, and moving out of that was what started our studies for other configurations on the site.
Gotcha. All right, I'm good.
Just to clear that
Yeah.
up, whenever we shifted the building up, that started messing with the drive-through.
Okay.
So you're shifting that up, which messed up that whole parking line, that drive-through, and then you start looking at emergency access and larger vehicle movement.
MJ, I'm good.
Thank you, Mr. Patel. Mr. Knight, questions?
I'm guessing this is for the applicant, just because it's in your C response here. Could you just maybe briefly share with me how, it says reducing the amount of parking, it says in other words, the property is restricted from being able to have two canopies without reducing the amount of parking, and then secondly, the latter part of it, it says immediately off of the curb cut, reducing stacking and potential cause of traffic to back up into the roadway. So you're saying that those two things would impact, can you kind of share what that would look like from a visual standpoint?
Sure. Well, we ran several studies of how, how could we rotate the building on site to facilitate meeting the ordinance as it is written. And in all of those other options, we looked at rotating this way, and one of two things has to happen. Either one, you are immediately loading your order point, and henceforth don't have an adequate amount of stacking, or you are moving your entry point into the parcel somewhere else off of Empire Drive, probably around this corner closer to Grissom Parkway, which is not optimal because then you have traffic flow in and out interacting with that intersection down here. We also looked at, immediately flipping or mirroring the building to where it would, the building would back up to the parcel to our left. And again, it was just a site configuration thing with how do you load the drive-through area with adequate stacking, and none of those really worked out.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else, Mr. McKnight?
No, that's it.
Thank you, Mr. McKnight. Mr. Parker, questions?
Two more questions for the applicant. Real quick, this, in my understanding, is a prototype building. Essentially, these are prepared and designed for the traffic that, they expect. Like, this is a standard size building.
It is a standard size building. They have various models,
Okay.
Of buildings. I wouldn't say, they have a straight prototype.
Okay.
But yes, it is designed for this area.
Okay, gotcha. And then to add to that, the studies that you reference are scientific and very extensive with respect to queuing and efficiency of the operation of this facility, right?
That's correct. As well as parking for dine-in customers.
Gotcha.
And again, those suffer as well as being able to have adequate parking for the operator.
Okay. And so in your opinion, with the constraints that you're faced with, this is the ideal layout to support the operation of the facility?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, Mr. Parker?
That's it.
I think Mr. Parker covered a lot of what I would ask Mr. Browning, but maybe one thing that would be helpful just for everybody's kind of mental picture here is, I hate to say I'm in a generation of people who's frequented a lot of drive-thrus, typically Chick-fil-A if I could find it. But what I've come to realize maybe as time has progressed is that the drive-thru has kind of transitioned, and the typical drive-thru would be one lane, like a box that was a recorder that you order from with a menu kind of there. And then I think that the question was asked by somebody before, and you expounded upon it a little bit, but maybe give us some more detail, where you pull up to the window and there's an attendant kind of handing you your items out of a window.
Sure.
And I know that as it relates to this particular design that I'm seeing that was on the screen a moment ago, that's sort of, couldn't be further from what y'all are implementing here. And I know Mr. Parker asked some great questions about, studies and all of the data that probably went into this, but just for our benefit, describe, if you will, the process a customer would go through driving around this drive-thru.
Sure. So as you mentioned, for lack of a better term, what I'll call old school drive-thru experience is you pull up to a kiosk, you don't see a person, you're speaking to a speaker, you give your order, you pull around, and whether it's multiple windows or a single window, you're going to pay and be handed your food. I won't say it's proprietary, but what Chick-fil-A is on the leading edge of is a more personal experience. And since that has really went away, what that allows them to do is in your what they call face-to-face canopy, which is your order point, you can have multiple associates out there working. So instead of one car, or if it's a dual drive-through, say, I won't name another name, but a single point transaction with the kiosk, you can have 4, 5, 6 associates out there in a busy time taking, those number of orders at one time. So instead of 1-2 cars ordering at a time, you could have 4 or 5 cars ordering at a time and all moving together. The same happens on the meal delivery side, where instead of one transaction happening at the window where you're receiving your food, you could have multiple associates out there handing food at the same time, which in turn allows them to move a greater number of cars through in the same amount of time it would take another fast food restaurant to move 1 or 2 cars through.
And if you've been a, benefactor of this sort of new phenomenon, I'll call it, it doesn't just benefit y'all in terms of moving customers through it. Probably, if I guess, and you can answer this, I'm assuming, with the data and all the studies I'm assuming, seen, it's probably safer. Is that correct?
That's correct. That's correct. And typically, again, when you're talking drive-through, stacking is the paramount factor in safety, right? If stacking backs up, you're stacking into the parking lot and movements, vehicular movement, pedestrian movement, things like that. So the flow of traffic and the optimization of how quickly you can get cars through there prevents that excessive stacking, therefore preventing dangerous interactions between, whether that's a parking vehicle, a pedestrian in the parking lot, what have you.
Do you believe this layout, this property was designed with all that in mind?
I do. I know for a fact it was. I did it.
I think that's all the questions I have. In light of that information, anybody else have any questions? We'll go around one more time. I don't have to call names or if anybody. Go ahead, Mr. Dixon.
Is the only cut into Grissom Parkway, is it Empire Drive? Is that the only cut in? Because right now, the cut, as I went by there, the cut in right now is in front of the building, and that's not where Empire Drive comes into Grissom Parkway.
Again, so to answer your question, that is a previously approved development, but yes, there is only one entrance or one cut for Empire Drive off of Grissom.
That's the only way you can get into this facility.
There is a entrance off of 29th Avenue North.
Okay.
Empire Drive makes a quarter turn around, so there will be a curb cut from Grissom into Empire Drive. It'll come in, and then there will be an associated one on 29th Avenue North.
Okay.
The only access to our parcel is off of Empire Drive.
Okay, that's all I have on that.
Thank you, Mr. Dixon. Mr. Khan.
May I ask, is this already under construction?
It is not.
It is not.
Empire Drive is under construction. Development around there is under construction. Our parcel is not under construction.
The building is.
Not our building. No, sir.
Can I ask Mr. Rowe a question?
Absolutely.
Would the city rather than center it and ask for variance on both sides, or are they better off just to have variance on one side?
The other issue with centering is once you start sliding it up, you start having issues with the entryway throat.
Can you maybe explain what you mean by sliding
Sure.
up, so that doesn't seem vague?
If we take this and slide it up, we start having issues. We slide it up, then we start having issues with this parking right here if we start having vehicle stacks, because as stated, you're having individuals leave, but then you also have to have enough room for them to leave.
Well, if you slid it up, you would just, they're exiting, so as long as they can get around those first few parked cars.
I see your point, but by grabbing this down here, we're able to increase a little bit of the stack lane here, depending on how these people got. True, the traffic count shouldn't be that crazy, but again, you're looking at, this will, future-wise, this is gonna be a new public road.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Patel, questions?
No questions.
Mr. McKnight?
No question.
Mr. Parker?
No more questions.
Just one follow-up, Mr. Rout, on top of what Mr. Khan asked. Sounds like that consideration was looking at the potential future traffic on the road outside of this property. Is that fair?
That and the magnitude that would come off of that property. Because keep in mind, you're having people, whether they enter from Robert Grissom or 29th, enter the property, then they're gonna exit back on those same travel ways. You gotta look at, neither one of these are gonna be lit signals at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So you're looking at people going then to those access points and then leaving that property.
In light of that, Mr. Khan or Mr. Dixon or Mr. Patel, Mr. McKnight, Mr. Parker, anybody have additional questions from board members? This may be a little unorthodox, and I appreciate you gentlemen bearing with me, but it seemed like Mr. Decker had his hand up back there. I know he offered public commentary. I'm going to let him ask a question if he has it, since he spoke. The other individual who didn't come forward and speak during public commentary, I'm sorry, I can't let you ask a question, but Mr. Decker, if you got a question, ask it now.
Yes, real quick. Again, George Decker from Carriage Row. Enterprise Drive, is it? Empire Drive, that extends all the way out to 29, or is it called something else?
It's just a loop road, it's all the same name.
So it's all the same?
Yep.
So all the way out to 29 where a
It's just kinda
cut has
like-
been made
it's
and
an
a road is
L-shaped
being
road.
constructed, it's all the same road, Empire? Okay. And real quick, has a traffic study been prepared and submitted? Or is it requested, or
I don't
not
think
part of?
That was a earlier version of which is handled through Public Works.
Okay.
And Mr. Decker, again, we typically don't allow members of the public to ask questions. This is normally a forum for you to make comments, but since you had your hand up, I figured I'd humor you, and I appreciate your...
And that is appreciated, thank you.
So let's end public discussion now, and we'll go to comments from board members. Keeping in the same flow of traffic, if you will, we'll start with you, Mr. Dixon.
This is just discussion.
Discussion, yes, sir.
Okay, I think it's a really good thing to show that the entry into this place is only done off Empire Drive. The backup that I know from this kind of a place is going to back up all the way, back up into Empire Drive and won't affect Grissom at all. So that's very good, but the building is built. I don't know why you say it isn't, because it's there. The only other thing I have to comment about is that since the Chick-fil-A's that I've seen, they back up a long ways, and are probably backed up all the way to Empire. I'm concerned about people parking there trying to get in to sit down in Chick-fil-A, but that's just my concern. It doesn't make anything to do with the request for variance. Those are the only comments I have.
Thank you, Mr. Dixon. As always, comments are very welcome. Mr. Khan?
Still being new on the board, is this where I voice my opinion?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, I think it's a pretty good design. I think a lot of thought's been put into it. I think options have been weighed, and I really don't have a problem with it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Khan. Mr. Patel?
No comments.
Thank you, Mr. Patel. Mr. McKnight?
No comments.
Thank you, Mr. McKnight. Mr. Parker?
I'll make three. Just east of this in the, I guess it's Sheraton's complex, they have a amenity building or a administration building, which is set back very close to the road right of way. So in the vicinity, we already have one that is virtually the same distance off the right of way. In the past, we have approved these canopies with this level of variance. I think as most recently as about, I want to say 6 months ago. So this is not unique for this board to hear. And then I guess the last point I have is related to this parcel was established because of this road 227 feet in depth, and based on the design they have, there are criteria between drive aisles, parking spaces, and lane widths that have to be adhered to, and for this design to work in this configuration, the building practically has to be located where it's sited. And so, in my opinion, they've done the best they can to site the building, and they're just running up against, obviously, a hard time with a misunderstanding with the three-way front setback. And I can't fault them for that. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Parker, as always, valuable discussion. Same thing for Mr. Khan, I don't think I'm gonna add anything that those two individuals didn't say much better than I would have. Chair will entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Good second.
I've got a motion to approve by Mr. Parker, a second by Mr. Patel. Let's get hands in the air for those individuals who are in favor of that motion, please. 1, 2, 3, 4. Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Browning, appreciate you being here. Those
Thank you,
members of the
board, very
public,
much for your time.
yes, we appreciate you saying that too. Thank you, Mr. Browning. Those members of the public who participated and were present, thank you all for being here as well.
Thank you.
All right, that's request 25-10. We'll find my agenda somewhere. I think that may have been our only request for new business, Mr. Rao, is that correct?
That is correct.
I know we gotta write a motion on that, in order, unless that motion. But, before we do that, do we have any communications from staff and board?
Working on to get you guys, those that need any type of training for state requirements, we'll probably get some stuff out to you via email. Do it at home or wherever. Those that don't need it, probably just need an email saying I'm of such type of individual. I think it covers attorneys and civil engineers. You guys get out of it?
I hope so.
Maybe not.
I see that there's a included Board of Zoning Appeals 2026 meeting schedule. Do we need to vote on that, or is that
Yes.
still voted today?
Anybody have any issues with any of the meeting dates?
Yes.
Which one?
That's a lot of.
It's once a month.
Thank you, Mr. Patel, for laughing at my poor choice of humor there.
Before we move on the continuing education, are contractors excluded from that?
I'll have to look at the state law. We'll see what we have. You may already have some classes. If not, there's a lot of online trading.
It's just them.
Yeah, I just took 8
I know what
hours.
you said.
I don't
If so, you've been doing a lot of training, haven't you?
Mr. Rowe, I just took 8 hours of continuing education for the state of North Carolina, so I don't know if any of that would carry.
We'll check into that.
There's probably overlap.
I'll check.
I'd like to
There
know.
certainly is, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
But anybody see none of these are an issue with any national holidays. So anybody in this room on the board,
It's always just the second Thursday. Am I seeing that pretty consistently?
yes, it's always the second Thursday.
I mean, I can complain.
I already heard a complaint. We all heard it.
So do we need a motion to approve these?
Yes, please.
Hint?
If there's no
I make a
objection.
motion that we approve the
Hey.
dates printed.
I'll say.
Thank you, Mr. Khan and Mr. Parker. I guess well, let's do it the right way. Everybody in favor of the motion to approve the dates as presented on the draft document passed out in the packet? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Khan, Mr. Parker on that. Any non-agenda items from board members to staff?
Yes, sir.
Hearing none. We need to write a motion, an order.
So I'm willing to go with staffs A and B. Well, you can't meet all four.
You sure can.
You wouldn't.
Who says that?
We gotta squeeze out. Can we take A, B, and D, and then maybe look at the applicants too?
It's not long. I'm gonna shorten that out.
I was about to say, I think we can tighten it up. Or blend them, I mean.
I don't know what happened, see.
Just-
Oh, yeah, really?
D's the problem.
I just am struggling.
I think staff's D's the problem.
It is. Can't get a complete green.
That's what I mean.
Come on, we've had some of those once or twice, haven't we?
Surely not.
What about what you said about the development of this parcel with respect to the pre-existing roads and,
Well, I mean, it was established, by the subdivision. It's only 227 feet. And I mean, for them to fit 2 drivewalls, the driveway between the parking stalls, the parking spaces, the driveway between the parking stalls again, I mean, it's configured practically perfectly to fit inside the site with the code requirements, but I don't know how to write that.
I mean, I think
But I mean, that was to my other point. I mean, there's a structure just down the street that is,
yeah,
I mean, 10 feet off the property line.
and the surrounding area is largely developed. Few exceptions.
I mean,
We haven't had to write a lot of Ds. I feel like I struggle with that one because,
is it not unique to have all 4? I mean, I think they're
it definitely
well,
would be unique.
I think
to
they're
have
all
four.
well reasoned.
I think they are all well reasoned.
I mean,
I don't like their C because it's just too long.
any other comments from
D on
Peanut
this
Gallery?
one, would it include an existing structure already built on the site?
Yeah, right.
However,
And that's
the
not there.
comment I made, put some words around it, works out.
I know, that's what, I think your D, anyway. I almost asked you that, did you mean it or not? But,
Can I figure out the word accessory, since the main building is within the setbacks, this is an accessory use. I believe it's a nominal accessory use. Could we hone in on that?
Is that even?
What was the question?
As part of the ordinance, accessory buildings, with setback reductions,
There is no accessory
Not in-
noted in highway commercial.
not in highway commercial.
Otherwise, it wouldn't even be here.
Yeah, that,
But in residential there is, right?
Oh, yeah. Residential, you're done, you'd be 5 feet off.
all right, I mean,
I can throw out some ideas if you
Yeah,
guys
that
want
we
some
need that.
assistance.
Yeah.
I would probably look at the surrounding zoning classifications and some of the alignments within that, kind of noted, and how that parallels in the request. Some of these zoning classifications really don't ask for
kind of what you
setback.
said.
yeah.
Some of the zoning
line with the-
classifications have existing structures that are already that close, like the school, the Sheridan,
Yeah,
so,
okay, the surrounding neighborhood, basically.
yeah.
I'm okay with A, B, C,
So I
and
think
D.
that's what he kinda, I think we use his D and his,
Yeah.
their A, B, C, A, B, and C.
Okay, and then can we just add that statement to,
You probably could.
Yeah, do it.
let's do that.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's do that. I feel more comfortable.
so you're gonna use the staff's A, B, and
A, B,
C.
and C, and the applicant's D with the addition of other structures are located along Grissom Parkway, in a similar setback,
Alignment.
as, alignment as the subject parcel or subject.
As a
zone.
proposed
Yeah,
variance or whatever.
yeah. I'll write that real quick.
Sound good to me?
Yeah, let's do it
Is everybody clear on that?
Yeah.
Applicants A, B, and C, and then this kinda hybrid D? I mean, Mr. Parker, is that in the form of a motion?
that way. Yes, that is my motion.
Would anybody like to be that second? Or if not, we'll
Second.
hang out till we have a second.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. McKnight, I appreciate that.
And that was staff's A, B, and C, and app's D.
Well, I think it's a combination of the two Ds. Cameron is writing it down.
Yeah, I'll share it with you as soon as I'm finished writing it.
once he's finished writing it, we'll have you read it, if you don't mind. Sure. That way Mr. McKnight will be clear on what he's seconding, and we'll all take a vote on it.
That's a great idea.
Sorry, I chimed in with the audience participant.
I think you're fine. I mean, you were trying to get us where we were going anyway.
A little bit, I don't think his geography was off.
It's very unusual that we've had members of the public ask questions. Sorry, thank y'all for not complaining too much.
They usually call beforehand and get all the information.
I mean, it's fine for them to come up and speak. I don't know too much about them asking questions.
Alright, so the granting of this variance would not be in detriment to the areas as the surrounding parcels are developed. There are other structures located on Grissom Parkway east of the subject application aligned with a similar setback. That would be the
Anybody got questions about that? You still willing, having heard that, Mr. McKnight, still willing to second it?
Yes.
All those in favor of that motion carrying, hands in the air? All right. Clear on the vote on that, Ms. Heidi?
Everybody.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, that was a
Good
little
job.
tough. Cameron, thank you for doing the lion's share of the work on that.
Good job.
I believe that completes our agenda for today.
Motion to adjourn?
Mr. Khan, motion to adjourn, second by Mr. Parker. Everybody in favor of that motion, hands up. Thank you.